Hello, fellow travelers. Donna Spencer, Lucre Journey, your personal travel advisor here, bringing you another port review. Today we're going over the beautiful port of St. Martin. Since St. Martin is owned by both the French and the Dutch, this tiny island that's only 37 square miles does not require passports, though, to go back and forth between the two. The local currency is listed as the euro. They do also use the Netherlands Antilles Guild, but they also accept all major credit cards and the United States dollars, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so there's no worry about penalties from credit card to debit card companies. The initial cruise port has this large, flat concrete market area that you could easily maneuver around. It's very even, very flush. There are even open-aired shuttles that will run you back and forth from the gangways on the cruise ship all the way to the St. Martin Tourist Information Booth, which also happens to be right by the St. Martin photo op sign that everyone likes to stop and get their pictures taken at. The Tourist Information Booth you'll be able to recognize easily because it's got this very large red awning that says Tourist Information. But if you walk past that into the back or into the alcove areas there, you'll come across a number of very large but very classic souvenir shops that you can get some of the standard souvenirs in. However, I'll warn you, they are very specific. No ice cream in their shop. Once you get past the traditional cruise terminal area with the very flat, evened ground, concrete leveled ground, and the traditional stores, you can either walk or take a taxi to the beach that you can see from the ships. We walked to the beaches and then we took a taxi coming back. While you're in the stores, the beachfront, the market areas, it's very well maintained terrain. However, the path to walk from the traditional cruise terminal to the beachfront area is a well-worn dirt path in some places, and in a couple others they've got some slats down for you. It is a bit of a hike. It wasn't unpleasant, but it is a bit of a hike along a very busy road. Boardwalk, Front Street, and Back Street, all simply named, so love it, are a different story though. Boardwalk Street is again this wide open, smooth area, a concreted area that goes between the beach and the beachfront properties. There's a lot to do, a lot of live music being played there, a lot of places to stop and eat, bars. There are a number of hotels that run a lot of these great little deals where they'll give you access to their Wi-Fi, they'll give you drinks, and you can rent a chair or an umbrella. And that is a common theme. There are very few places where, there's no places where you can get a chair for nothing. You will have to rent a chair and umbrella at any point. There are a number of places that you could just plunk your stuff down and go swimming and nobody will say anything to you. But if you want a chair, if you want an umbrella, you're going to have to rent it from somebody. Once you get to Front Street and Back Street, it is a completely different story. There are a number of points of interest, historical points. There's some beautiful shots. You can get to the courthouse, but the roads are impossibly narrow. The brick and the concrete are often uneven, and it is a very compacted area that was clearly not intended for the very large vehicles. However, we did find another of interesting stores. We found a couple mom and pop soda stands that were kind of nice to grab a drink because they were back from the beachfront. You were not paying beachfront prices for these items. So in the long run, it might be worth it to kind of take a few minutes and go further inland to get some of these better deals and then come back out. As nice as the beachfront area is, this is one of those ports. St. Martin is one of those ports you might want to allot a bit more time walking around at if you are not in an excursion. But true to form for the rest of this trip that my family and I took, we got caught in another cloud burst, and you know, that was just what it was. Yes, you can get your passports stamped here, but it is very much off the beaten path in an area of town that I don't know if I would want to be walking in anything but broad daylight. The office for the passports is on a second floor office building. It's very indescriptive. You have to access it from the outside of a fenced-in shipping yard. Very, very friendly people with really nice AC. And you can probably understand that Todd was not in a hurry to leave once he got up the stairs and into that AC. There is a pharmacy or drugstore located on Front Street. There are signs for it, and you can actually see it from Broadway Street. There are ATMs located in a number of spots. One of them is right by the Tourism Information Center at the beginning of where we were just talking about at the beginning of your adventure. Then there's another one that is easily accessible on a Boardwalk Street. There's taxi services available, and they tend to come and go quite a bit on Front Street and Back Street. However, interestingly enough, it is locals with their own vehicles. However, each company has their employees wearing a shirt that easily identifies them as part of that company. As we mentioned, there is tons of swimming access at St. Martin if you are not on an excursion going inland. You can lay your towel down for free just about anywhere, but as mentioned, if you are looking for a chair or for an umbrella, then you're going to have to rent from someone. Now, you can rent from like some local bars and some other locals at the either end of the beach, but in the middle of the beach, it's kind of owned by the hotels that sit off from the beach. Just keep your eye out as you walk along Boardwalk Street, and you will see a number of the hotels and other establishments have these signs out that indicate various deals in regards to renting their chairs and umbrellas at the beach there. My husband and I decided we were going to take advantage of the Holland House Beach deal, which included access to the Wi-Fi, 2 free drinks, the chair, the umbrella, and access to their bathrooms and showers. So afterwards, Lydia and Chelsea, daughter and niece, could then go ahead and clean up, because we knew they'd be swimming. Go ahead and clean up before we headed back to the boat. Really appreciated the attendant, the young man that was helping us. He was upbeat but professional, always seemed to be very attentive, seemed to know exactly what we wanted or needed before we even requested it, voiced the concern. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I wonder if that attentiveness had anything to do with the fact that I had these 2 lovely 20-somethings with me. Excellent news for those of you with small children. There is a playground. One of the first stops on Boardwalk Street is this playground. It is connected to the ice cream establishment across the street, so you can let the kiddos play on the playground equipment. They can see the beach, they can see the ocean. You can turn around and get an ice cream if you want. I thought it was great. It's in a semi-shady area. They couldn't have picked a better spot for this playground, and it is easily accessible and free to individuals while you're at the beach. Bathrooms are well marked, easily accessible, and rather clean for the high level of traffic that these bathrooms were seeing throughout the day. It was commented on many times how much more my group enjoyed St. Martin as opposed to St. Thomas. Unlike St. Thomas, see video here if you want to find those little deets. The shop owners were extremely attentive to my husband, were actively searching to help my husband find the sizes and the styles he was looking for with his shirts. They were quick. They didn't necessarily bargain, but they were quick to offer a discount for the number of shirts my husband was buying. It was a complete 180 from the last shop my husband had tried to shop in. And so I, of course, was obviously extremely thrilled that they treated my husband, my fluffy husband, in a much more friendly manner. One of the gem ports to visit. We enjoyed it immensely. Questions, comments, feel free. I try to get back to you within 24 hours. And should you need, this was mentioned to me by others that I should probably put this out there. Actual travel advisor, not just a content maker, not just an avid cruiser myself. So feel free to let me know, and I give free quotes. So feel free to get in touch with me if you want a little help making your epic vacation as stress-free as possible. Until next time, happy sailing. Spencer with Lucra Journeys here. Figured we do. No, I don't want to figure anything. Here with Lucra Journey. Looking into another port. No, I'm not looking into. I've done it. There is something chewing in my attic. Anyhow, we'll have to deal with that problem in a minute.